Good morning, Triangle Trading Floor, Mikey, and everyone else here at TradePro Academy. Just want to see something. Okay, we're good. We should be good to go. Good morning. I hope you guys had a great, wonderful, amazing weekend. We are ready to get back to work. We got not a lot actually, but we got some stuff to cover. Market's volatile this morning, and let's get right into it. So hopefully you had some nice time off. Whoops. And the weekend served you good, and you recharged the batteries, because you're going to need them charged up for this week's session. I'll tell you that much right now. Off the volatile start. So, in the U.S., S&P, NASDAQ, and Russell are down. The leader being NASDAQ down 1 percentage point. Dow Jones down 0.7%. European markets are kind of mixed bag of nuts. They're not down as much. Dollar index is down 0.3%. Oil is down 0.5 percentage point. Gold is up 1.9. New all-time high of $4,601 per ounce. Very proud of my wife. She told me yesterday she bought gold and continued to add to her position. It's up. It's up to a new all-time high. She knows what she's doing. It's in the air where we live. All right, copper is up 1.6%. Bitcoin is sort of flat. Ethereum is up 0.2%, and that's where we are. The big news, of course, is a criminal investigation into Jerome Powell. All right, federal prosecutors opened criminal investigation into JP, all right, notorious Fed chair, related to his Fed's Washington headquarters renovation. All right, Department of Justice served the Fed with subpoenas threatening indictment. Powell directly and without any question responds saying this is about interest rates, and it's happening because he's not cutting rates. Says he will continue to work and do the job. And, to be honest with you, that's a bit of a sticky situation. It's very hard to kind of report on this and not comment politically, but definitely going to spook the market when your active Fed chair is getting subpoenaed and indicted over charges related to, we'll find out what it is. But now the question is, will Powell will be able to perform his job legally and to the satisfaction of his standard that was set for him? And if he can't, should he still be there is a question. And this is the whole point of all this, I think, is to kind of start thinking along that path. All right, it's not good. That's market volatility that didn't really need to happen, considering Powell was out in May anyways, but that is a long time to wait. Actually, it might be July that he's out officially. Well, I'll have a look and write in the comments afterwards. All right, Donald Trump also he does a 1-2 and talks about credit card fee cap plan. So there was an announcement that he would be demanding that credit card rates stay capped at 10%, which is less than half of what they can run up to at the moment. All right, they must comply before January 20th, which is a pretty tight timeline considering it's January 12th. All right, they have 8 days to come into compliance or face violations. That's a huge impact on major bank stocks, and they're getting crushed pre-market. That's what's leading the slide lower. JP Morgan's down 2.4%. Citigroup is down 3.6%. Bank of America is down 1.5%. Banking sector in Europe the contagion is kind of catching on. Even they're down 1%. All right. It's interesting. It's an interesting announcement, and we're gonna have to see a little bit more as that approaches to see what actually happens. Is this implemented by the 20th? All right. Is there any kind of tolerance window? Who is it gonna apply to? As the details start to emerge, the market will reprice. So expect to see volatility today. All right, and a lot of it, and this whole week. Okay, the week ahead, by the way, just putting everything into context, is Tuesday, tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning. We get CPI. Wells Fargo expects the headline number to be 0.35%. So that's month over month. So annualized 2.7%. All right, that's a rebound from November's really soft reading. So people are thinking this inflation report in November was off due to the fact that the government data was distorted to begin with due to the government shutdown. All right. The expectations for consumer inflation is to rise to 3.4% from 3.2% in November. So if that does happen, all right, then it kind of puts a little more pressure on Powell, despite given what's happening in the market. All right, Wednesday we have PPI and we have retail sales and earnings season kick off with major banks, which are in the spotlight already. JP Morgan, Bank of America, Citi, Wells Fargo, Goldman Sachs, and Morgan Stanley all reporting this week. We are kicking off the earnings season. The big report, though, is going to be tomorrow pre-market on CPI and inflation, and watch the impact it has on the Fed. We're going to do the recap of it, and I'm going to post on X at George Papazov. I'm going to post on there the analysis, the trading plan, etc., leading up into the morning, maybe as early as this evening at 7 p.m. All right. I like to release the news the day before at 7 p.m. Eastern. That way you have time to digest it. And in the morning, release the update to the analysis. All right. Let's turn around. Let's get on the monitors. Let's have some fun. And isn't that what life is all about? Is having fun. Let me see some of the comments. How does Powell make statements Sunday night when getting served on Friday, right? It's interesting, Paul, and I don't think he should have made the statement, but it was a very direct statement at the same time. No lawyer would have advised him to say that, obviously, but he does anyways. So here we are. Marco says, I'm going to take the week off. I bought a new car and I have to take care of some paperwork. Marco, I'm in the same situation. I also bought a new car. And that's so funny. We buy cars. Our car purchasing is synchronized with each other. But yeah, congrats, man. Take some time off, well deserved, and I'll see you when you are back. For everyone else, let's look at the charts and do some analysis here, and let's talk about the story. You all know I love a story, so let's start with the story in the United States. On Friday, stocks oscillated around the pre-NFP level into the open. All right, we had a pretty stinky non-farm payrolls report, and it was around 69.80. I can't believe the NFP line is gone. I accidentally deleted it, which should be okay, right? Oh, hang on. I got to put the pen back on as well. I don't want the text. All right. So it should be somewhere around here, the 80. We danced around the line. Well, actually, it was a little bit lower for the pre-NFP. I wish I didn't delete it, to be honest with you, but here we are. So we danced around it. We opened up higher. We kind of went below it. And then we had this really annoying drop that occurred into the session. See that? One touch bounce off of a zone that we had at around 69.55, 75. And that head fake lower to that level ended up creating the day session low in the U.S. One touch bounce, it takes off. There's no time to get long unless you kind of close your eyes and bought it. I'm not a big advocate of that, so it just goes without us, unfortunately, and it's okay. All right, but it did kind of confirm our analysis, and sometimes when you see a move, you don't make money on it, but you make information on it, and sometimes the information is more important than the money that you could have made. So we use that information, and we stay long for the rest of the day in the room. All right, we moved up to the high from there of 70.1750. That sets the prior day high. All right here, PDH. That's what it stands for, prior day high. Then the market dumped. Wait 1 second. That's 61.75 point range from the prior day low to the high. That's a pretty big bullish extension day. After non-farm payrolls came in, then we cycled around and dumped, took out the stops, rallied up. Tro to peak, we got a good 61.7 point run. All right, 61.75 point run. All right, so then what happens? Well, from there, we gave up a little bit of the gains into the prior day cash close. 705 quarter is where we close off the 17. That's not that big of a difference. All right, but volume was only 1.27 million contracts on the ES. And that's low and consistent with the past 5 sessions, a very low volume start to this year in trading. All right, you should know that. Then what's the story here overnight? Well, overnight, the high was at 07.5, and it's not that much above the prior day cash close. So immediately that's a problem. Then we sell off. Obviously, the news isn't helping. The market continues to trickle lower, and we set the overnight low at 69.50, which is below the prior day low by 5.75 points. And the overnight high is below the prior day high, right? Price is near the lower third. There's news-driven selling dominating the tape. There's also like a structural shift in risk sentiment and appetite. So therefore, now we get to the trading plan finally. And the trading plan takes the longest to get to, but the easiest to create. Trading plan is this. We're going to use 69.92 as the flip zone, 88 to 92, this yellow level here, meaning I don't want to buy it till we get above it. I'll be looking to sell rallies on the way up to start the session. And if we can start getting above 88 on some decent volume and expansion above that territory and a move higher, then we start to get excited a little bit more about the long and targeting the 17 prior high and above it to all-time highs. Okay, so we're going to use that 92 as a flip zone. We're going to start on a bearish lean for today. I'd rather start as a seller and be convinced to become a buyer than start as a buyer just because we're at lows and then get fleeced and turn into a seller when it's too late and when I should actually be turning into contrarian buyer, right? So that's very important. The way you start is a large part and parcel to the way you're going to end. So we're starting on a bearish lean. We're looking to sell rallies until we rally above 69, 90-ish level. All right, so sell areas for me are going to look like 68, pretty much right here. We're opening into a sell area. If it qualifies, I have no problem doing it. Nice block of volume here. Nice buy delta accumulating. And so, if we can hold this and we start doing one of these, I would sell a rotation in for the first trade. So that's 68. The next level up is 81.5, somewhere here. Okay. Would be, actually, it's not somewhere there. It's a little bit higher, and I can see why. It's some of this delta here. You see it? It's a prior delta here, a prior delta here. So 81 to like 83. And the last level is 88. So I'm bearish. These are my 3 sell levels, 1, 2, 3. And once we get above the 90, I become a buyer of momentum. All right. Yesterday, we had a 61.75 day on 1.27 million contracts. Let's see what we get today. Today, volatility is already higher. We're opening up with a larger move to the downside. All right. I'm going to take it a little bit easier today. I've honestly slept like absolute garbage. Probably have bigger bags underneath my eyes than, I don't know, a grocery bag. But yeah, I've slept like 3 hours, less than that. So I'm going to take it easy. I have to take it easy. It's part of my plan whenever I have bad sleep to adjust and to just relax, because last thing you want to do is lose money when you're tired. All right. It's not a good feeling or a good approach or strategy. So I'm going to cut it down, curtail it a bit, and trade smaller size, but still hit the day with the plan. I love you guys. Let me know if you have any questions and comments. That's how the day's shaking out. Bearish day, news flow driven. All right. We have, on the options front, we also have some options level. I'll give them to you. The call wall's at 71.28. That's the first one. That's so far away right now. It doesn't make sense, but it's a really big level. Mark it down because it'll probably be relevant tomorrow if we get bullish. 71.28 is such a big level on the ES. A lot of delta hedging or gamma hedging there and gamma exposure. All right, on the put front, 69.63 is a decent level, which we're right at. That's a support level. You have around 15,000 open interest here on the SPX. And then from there, 67.98 is the next downside, which is far, far away to the downside, okay? So that one's not in play. That's what I got for you guys. I'll see you in the room, Mikey. I'm going to get some coffee here and get something warm going and get ready to get into action with you guys. Take care. Have a great day. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this morning market update. If you did, hit the like button. Drop us a comment. I'll respond personally. Share this with the friends that you think deserve worthy trading insights. And I love you guys. Have a great day. Take care. Goodbye.